looked the part of a guy who many thought would go second overall.
He looks like a quarterback that is competing for the starting job in Cleveland.
He probably isn't a first-round pick. He definitely is not a fifth-round pick. Mel Kiper's right. Everyone else is wrong.
Passage for a rookie quarterback in Cleveland. You got to go through Grossi.
This must have been the worst performance in pre-draft.
This is what ESPN wishes Bronny would do.
This can be the conversation every single day.
Felt like 2023 all over again. Nearly, just over actually, 23 months ago. Shedeur Sanders passed for 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Colorado beat TCU. And it felt like that in his preseason.
Was born.
Yeah, just the coronation of what was going to be an epic college football season for Colorado. They win, 4 games that year?
Yep, 4-8.
Yeah, and
had a tough go with Colorado State shortly after that game.
What a September it was, and what a debut it was.
It was a September to remember.
Yeah, it was.
If I can recall.
What a debut for Shedeur.
Yeah.
It's quite the...
He looked the part of a guy who many thought would go second overall in the NFL draft that eventually went in the 5th round.
Yes. I mean, he was running his game. That's for sure. Hey, this episode of Hot Mic here on OutKick presented by Prize Picks. Preseason football is underway, and college football is here. So don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds, and you can turn your sports opinions into real money on Prize Picks, Chad.
Hutton, this is a more show. Like, we have a hard time doing less on anything. We're probably, when we start making our picks for the public, it's going to be more. We were down in Atlanta at a terrific event hosted by Prize Picks for the Home Run Derby, and guess what we bet? Guess what we went with? We picked more, and we won big with Prize Picks. And Hutton, that's the place to go to make your picks. You can make your football picks right now for the season. Saquon Barkley, more or less, 1,475 yards. We're probably going to go more. If we choose to pick that one, we're going to go more.
That's right. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code HOTMIC to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HOTMIC to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. HOTMIC is HOTMIC, the code. Prize Picks, run your game. Man, Dan, I'm thinking about this. There's no doubt running his game was Mel Kiper at the NFL draft.
And running his mouth.
Running his mouth and trying to defend the fact that, his top player was drafted in the 5th round. Certainly didn't look like a 5th-round pick. I wonder what Kiper is thinking today after saying this at the draft.
Well, I mean, I think yelling at the NFL about it is not
a quarterback. Boomer Esiason was not happy when he was a 2nd-round pick.
Tom Brady was not happy.
They dropped. How'd they turn out?
And you know what? Nobody's arguing that can happen.
Race, the NFL has been clueless for 50 years when it comes to evaluating quarterback. Clueless. No idea what they're doing in terms of evaluating quarterback. That's proof. There's proof of that.
How many
times? They say we know exactly what we're talking about with quarterback. They don't.
Apparently the Browns do.
Yeah.
The 5th round, mind you. And you know you're really having to defend yourself in a corner when Reese Davis is going back and forth with you. Here's more for Kiper.
Okay, he's saying whatever he's saying behind closed doors. What's he saying? I want to be the guy. I should be this. I should be that. Deion saying he's the best player in the draft. He's best quarterback, second best to Travis Hunter. Best quarterback. Who is it? What quarterback out there didn't think they should have been a high 1st-round pick?
Again, nobody's criticizing what happened. We're saying he has to deal with the reality of the result from it.
Correct.
That's all. Pick 140. Shedeur Sanders. Everybody wishes him well, as we do.
Yeah, I mean, look, he played well. I mean, what more can you say? He was outstanding. Even Tony Grossi in Cleveland is admitting as much. And he's been, anti-Shedeur in everything so far in his coverage. Just kind of the rite of passage for a rookie quarterback in Cleveland. You got to go through Grossi. Chad, this was 45 snaps where he plays 10 possessions, and after a slow start, picks up the pace, and you see what happens here. 3 scoring drives. He was accurate. He's getting out of the pocket, making some really nice plays, and showing what we saw glimpses of and more consistently at Colorado behind a worse offensive line.
It also, to me, highlights, Hutton, that this must have been the worst performance in pre-draft, all of the work that could have been done for Shedeur Sanders. Whatever meetings he had, whoever he talked to, like, you really turned some people off. Because we said this when it happened. We were shocked when he didn't go the first night. And then we were shocked as the second round came and went. The third round, the fifth round for Shedeur Sanders. We can talk about how good he really was at Colorado. The truth of the matter is he probably isn't a first-round pick. He definitely is not a fifth-round pick. His talent, to me, is somewhere in the second or third round. So what happened was that he turned a lot of teams off in meetings with them. His attitude, the entitlement, whatever you want to call it, they got a sense of something they didn't like. What they got a sense of was probably what you saw at his draft party, which had corporate sponsors and high-priced jewelry all over the place, and they had camera crews everywhere.
Oh, he had them again.
And teams are saying, I don't want to take that for a guy we think is more of a developmental prospect that could be an NFL starter in 2 or 3 years. But the Browns backed into this in the fifth round, and at least through one preseason game, damn if it doesn't look like it's going to pay off. And yes, everything we say we can preface with, this is the preseason.
Oh, yeah.
I'll also say, you have to evaluate somewhere. Like, you get practices.
Oh, for fifth-round picks, yes.
Yeah, you get practices and you get the preseason. So we can talk about it, too.
Well, and
like, it's not just I don't even want to talk about it. I don't give a shit. It was a preseason game. No, we got to talk about and evaluate at some point. Coaches are evaluating every day in practice. They're evaluating every day in everything, right? How he is in film study, how he is in cafeteria, how he is around his teammates, all of those things. But if we're going to watch something, we get preseason games to evaluate, especially these rookie quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, so if he doesn't play well, he's dissected and crushed.
Yeah.
Right? As fifth round pick should have got undrafted.
Where's Mel Kiper now? The league was wrong. I told you.
So
Mel can take a little victory lap for this first preseason game.
And so can Shedeur. Like he starts. He's playing 45 snaps for a reason. Stefanski's offense fits his style at quarterback. He played well. But the coronation, this is vintage coronation by ESPN and everyone, because this is crown him. This is what ESPN wishes Bronny would do.
Yeah.
And so everyone's going overboard with the reaction. We knew Dion would. We knew
he was
the
ready.
Dad and the coach would. And
he was ready.
He was ready, chiming in. God is so good. Oh, yeah, what now? Yes, Lord. Yes. That's Shedeur Sanders. He's got the Coach Prime on there. I wonder if this is like if Prime is a nervous wreck. I was thinking about this. And I'm like, no. He's no nervous wreck. This is the I told you so guy behind the scenes. There is no doubt he thought about asking this question on social media.
What's up, boss? You believe that? You hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh? Oh no. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all that. Yeah. Oh no. Come on. Do you believe? You don't believe. You just answered it. You don't believe. Next question.
That was to Ed Werder, who doesn't even cover college football.
Also, didn't even get a chance to ask his question.
That was 2 years ago.
No, I got a question for you. Do you believe? Oh, you don't believe. All right, next question. And Ed's sitting there with his hand up. Can I ask my question about your secondary that I was going to ask, please, Coach Prime? Nope. Next question.
Yeah, and so that was 2 years ago after the TCU victory that Colorado had in game number 1, where he passed for a new university program record, 510 yards. LeBron's backing him up. LeBron's correct here, by the way, saying that, hey, if he didn't play well, you guys would be crushing him. And here give this guy his flowers is more or less what he's saying. We're going to show it here. It's like, I don't want to hear that it's only the preseason BS, because if he was out there not going in, y'all would be on his ass about it. So give credit. I mean, yes, that's
he is spot on.
That's
right.
what we've just said. And
it's also preseason, so we're not going to sit here and crown him king of football. But also, like, it's all we have to work with right now is the one preseason performance, and he was really damn good in that preseason performance.
Carolina played their starters for like a quarter or so. He did what he was supposed to do. He looked.
Oh, but Hutton, it was Carolina. It was Carolina starters.
He looked like here's where I think I stop on the expectations. He looks like a quarterback that is competing for the starting job in Cleveland.
Yeah,
that's what he looked like. And he took advantage of all the snaps that he had.
And he showed what we knew about him going in. You mentioned, Hutton, that it's Kevin Stefanski's system's a really good one for him.
It is, yeah.
And I totally agree with that. But he's a guy, he's not that athletic. He doesn't have a howitzer for an arm.
Nope.
But he puts the ball on time in the right spot most of the time. And I saw a lot of that. It wasn't always flashy, right? But he's getting the ball where it needs to be and giving his playmakers a chance. And he did that time and time again in college, and he did it in his first preseason game. And, yeah, that's all we have to go on right now. So the evaluation continues. And ESPN and everyone else, fingers crossed that he's named the starter
no doubt.
In Cleveland. And this can be the conversation every single day. Mel Kiper's right, everyone else is wrong, or, you're a racist because you doubted Shedeur Sanders. Whatever they want to argue, they're going to argue. But
if he gets the starting job for whatever reason, week 1's against Cincinnati, Bengals don't have a pass rush right now. Just saying. Don't at me with Dan Dakich. Literally just got off air. I'm not even sure if Dan has left his chair. But
we'll ask him.
Dan joins us right now. Dan, hope things are well. Good morning.
Hey, I'm just sitting here basking in the glow of Daniel Jones versus Anthony Richardson while Shedeur Sanders plays well, and these two idiots we got play like crap. There you go.
What do you think Mel Kiper was doing watching this game?
I think he needed soft lights, a room, some Jergens, and a moist towel.
He needed that before kickoff, though.
I think he did.
Yeah, he's like, here we go. It's our first start. All right, let's get the lights lowered a little bit. Let's get it ready to go. So, Dan, you think that the Colts made a mistake by not taking a flyer on Shedeur Sanders, given the look at their quarterback situation right now?
I said it at the time. I did. I said if Shedeur Sanders is there, why not? I mean, Colts are uninteresting. Look, I just want them to start Anthony Richardson. I watched both play, and I'm like, all right, Daniel Jones. You know what's interesting about Daniel Jones? I think he was, the 6th pick in the draft?
Yeah.
He's not like some uber-talented guy. Like when I watched him, and I never really studied him, but I'm watching the preseason game, and he played a lot. The ball doesn't pop out of his hand. He's not a crazy athlete. I actually was thinking we were – going to look at kind of the same thing as Richardson, an athletic guy that just really doesn't know how to play. But I was really unimpressed with his abilities. And look, maybe, the old coach in me, talent and potential corrupts, but I want to trade for Cousins, or I want to trade, if they're going to make him the 4th-string quarterback, trade for Shedeur Sanders and bring him over here. Bring somebody exciting at least. I don't know.
Dan, as a former coach, you put the coaching thought process here for me. Would you play your starters in the preseason if you're an NFL coach?
God, the NFL is so much different. We did, obviously, when college basketball, because it's not the same. I would be very careful with that. I lost my career because of injury. I've told you guys many times, 7 of my 10 years. I lost my 2 best players. 5 of my 10, I lost my 3. So I'm the wrong guy, because I would have a really hard time losing a starter, somebody valuable in a preseason game. I go, Billy Donovan told me this. I went to visit him when he was on after his 2nd national championship in a row in Florida. He said the number one thing we did was keep players healthy. We had to keep guys. We knew the only thing that could derail us was injury. I wouldn't. I'm not saying I wouldn't play him a series just to get him in there in a game and all that. But boy, oh boy, I'm so biased, or not biased. I'm so jaded because of injury. It'd be hard for me, guys. It just would.
Dan, I was talking, I love getting into coaching things with you when we have you on. And I was talking about a fellow youth sports coach over the weekend about this very thing. Parents always feel like they know best, right, for little Timmy and Tommy or whoever it is. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm sure that some parents thought that Bob Knight didn't know basketball, or that Coach K was terrible for their kid, or that Dan Dakich at Bowling Green is awful and doesn't know what's best for my son and how to utilize him. And then I think to myself, if parents thought that way about these coaches at the highest levels of their sport or close to it, then who am I to have no parent problems? Or who are you to have no parent problems? Like, they're going to think what they want. You have to wrestle control of it however you want to, but they're always going to complain about how you're treating their kid or how you're utilizing their kid or whatever it may be. Does it ever end, Dan? Does it ever end?
No. Chris Collins, the coach at Northwestern, his dad, Doug Collins, and who's a friend of mine, would send plays on how to utilize Chris to Coach K back when fax machines were a thing. I had a parent when I was at Indiana call Coach Knight and say, you know, my son really is better doing this, that, or the other. And his son was like the 12th man on the number one team in the country. No, it never, no, God, no, it does not end. Hell no, it does not end. I mean, look, that's before, like, I'm going back now. Yeah. That's before all this real parent entitlement. You know, now it's insane. I coached the same AAU kids for about 6 years. They all begged to play on my team when I was done at Indiana. And by the time they were all seniors, I wasn't utilizing their kid right to get a college scholarship. I say, what do you want me to tell you? So hell no. I mean, they're crazy. They're crazy. My wife and I talk about it all the time. But because I couldn't do it. I had a dad one time sit right behind me at Bowling Green. It wasn't a big crowd. He was sitting in my wife's chair. I go, what are you doing? Well, I'm just sitting here. I said, okay, well, you're going to sit there. Your son ain't playing. I didn't care. I was losing anyway. I mean, we were down to football player. Oh, I said, you sit right there, right behind me. Your son is not playing. And this was at a home game in my wife's seat. She wasn't there. And he got up and moved and whined and bitched. So, yeah, no, we had a thing. No coach could do this now. We had a thing at Bowling Green. Because you play in the MAC, sometimes there's no crowds, whatever. If I hear a family member of yours bitching at me, you, the player, have two options. One, you can go and tell that player. You go and tell him to shut up. Tell that family member to shut up. Or two, you sit your ass on the bench because I'm taking you out. At Kent State, playing our brains out. They were really good. The sisters of one of my players is Dakich, but I looked at the player. He goes, I got it, coach. He walks to the end. Will you two shut the hell up? Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I mean, it's...
and he got to play, right? He got to keep playing because he went over there and he shut him up.
I put him right in. I'm like, screw it. Get your ass in. Hell yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Dan,
yes.
Final thing for me. Chad's going to discuss this coming up in just a few minutes, but we've got John Gruden, who wants to get back into coaching. He's made no... he certainly put it out there. He said he would love to play.
Love to coach the SEC.
Coach in the SEC, and something we discussed previously on the show. Describe for me the backchanneling that's going to go on this season with Gruden, his representatives, and the SEC behind the scenes.
Well, let's go to Arkansas. Already Gruden's people have reached out to Arkansas. This happened. I think I've told you this story. Steve Alford was at Iowa. And the AD at New Mexico was a friend of mine, and he called me in the middle of the year. He said, hey, would Steve want to leave? I hear he's unhappy. I said, I don't know. I said, what's your job? And he told me the job. It's a really good job. New Mexico is a great basketball job. This is like January. I call Steve. I say, hey, old man, New Mexico wants to have you as their coach. You interested? Hell yes. I said, all right, here's the deal. Have your agent call this guy, Paul Krebs. Next thing you know, about a week later, 2 weeks later, they were already meeting in Atlanta, the agent and the AD at New Mexico, and getting a deal done before Iowa's season was even half done. Alford knew he was in trouble there. So the point is, hell yes. Gruden's got people looking right now, right this moment, Big 10, Big 12, SEC, ACC. As soon as I saw that, I said, yeah, coaches, Gruden is not limiting himself to the SEC. Yeah, I would like to coach in the Big 10 right now. Hell, everybody would like to. But Gruden may have a chance because he's got powerful people, and they're working right now. This moment, they are working. Hey, DeBoer has a bad first month. Gruden all of a sudden is going to show up at the game. It's unbelievable. And it's like the mafia. It'll be Gruden's guy meeting with whomever. That's who will be Gruden's peeps, his agent, his whatever. Oh, yeah, that's the fun. That's why I always say there's always a backstory, and every job that I ever got, actually including this one, I had way before anybody even knew.
Yeah, and
I mean, you know how that goes.
And Gruden and Kiffin are the masters of never denying or stomping out anything.
Yeah.
They are very good at just keeping it going. They answer things very well. They love their name
being out there. They love being pursued.
Yeah, every team.
Who doesn't love that?
Yes, sir.
Hey, always love whenever we get the chance to have you on, Dan. Thank you, and keep up the great work on Don't At Me.
Thank you for pursuing me.
Yes.
I love being pursued. I'm like
Always.
Chad. I love being pursued.
Yes.
See you guys.
We'll continue pursuing you, Dan. Thank you.
Don't At Me. Mornings here on the OutKick Network. Dan Dakich.
Pursue me. Pursue us.
me. Hey.
That's the message.
It wasn't just Shedeur. Look at Shedeur's numbers again from preseason game number 1. Very good.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Shedeur. Let's roll through these. For the rookie debuts.
Passer rating of 106.8.
Look at Cam Ward. Again, he played in two drives.
Yeah, he had a quick 3 and out on the first one, so it was
and
really
that was it for
drive.
the first quarter for the Titans offensively. But comes back and leads a scoring drive.
Well, he scored that touchdown with like 10 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Was how quickly that game was moving on his second drive.
2 big third down conversions, overcame an offensive line penalty that put them behind the chains.
Looked like he had a good rapport with Calvin Ridley.
Yes, I think just he's in command. The Titans are going to absolutely suck. He didn't suck in his preseason debut. Neither did Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart put on a show, man. 12 of 19, 154 yards.
Almost an identical QB rating to Shedeur Sanders. Both had a very similar outing.
Now, Shedeur had 10 possessions.
Yeah.
Here's 4 possessions for Dart. 3 scoring drives. That's how you get it done.
Yeah.
That's how you put some pressure on Jameis Winston. It's going to be the Russell Wilson show to begin. Jameis Winston right now is the backup. This guy is going to be the backup. What happens to Jameis?
I'm also thinking, why the hell is he not going to be the starter at some point if he continues to look like this?
That's fair.
Over Russell Wilson.
And then Jalen Milroe, 6 of 10, 61 yards, 5 possessions, did have a scoring drive. Again, expectations, we're always comparing quarterback classes to quarterback classes. So far, we saw what we should see from top quarterback talent, just like we saw last year in their debuts. It's not easy to go out there and just automatically put on a show.
Yeah.
Not everyone does
Milroe had a long run, too, on a keeper.
Yes, he did. I thought job well done by the top guys from the draft over the weekend.
And for people who want to bitch and complain about, it's preseason, you guys are talking about preseason, it's all we have.
That's it.
This is the body. Vanilla. This is the body of work right now.
Very vanilla, but I mean,
we'd love to have 8 games into a season and have 8 starts to talk about with each of these quarterbacks, but we don't have that right now. We have practices that we're not attending, that coaches are evaluating, and preseason opportunities, especially for these rookie quarterbacks.
Right. I mean, the Detroit Lions won every game in the preseason the year they went 0-16. So I get it, but for the pressure on the QBs, it's not like they shit the bed.